Well, I've buried 254 young people killed because of gang violence, and certainly you have to kind of put death in its place. I remember a homie named Moreno used to say, "Death is a punk," and he said that shortly after his brother died in his arms, and I had to bury Moreno himself some 2 years after that. And I can remember speaking to the troops at Homeboy Industries. He was a much beloved kid. And I quoted him and I said, "Death is a punk." So the notion is if death is the worst thing that can happen to you, then you will be toppled by life itself. And then any grief never leaves you where it found you. And that's a good thing. But somehow, death is, we're all going to die. and it's a thing that, or the Dalai Lama always said about his own death, change of clothing. And that's sort of how we have to see it. It doesn't mean we do everything we can to make sure that people are safe and alive and well. But in the end, especially as people of faith, death has no power. And we kind of don't believe that. I'm kind of strange that way, only because I've had to deal with so much death. It sort of was part of the air you breathe in a community like this one. And yet you still have to put first things recognizably first and put one foot in front of the next and live as though the truth were true. And then make a list of all the things that are more powerful than death. Because if you don't know what that list is, then you can be easily toppled by what we're going through right now. So how do we maintain a light grasp on life? And the homies are, it's funny, they send me all these memes and these GIFs and all these outrageous things that make me howl. And I think there's something very therapeutic about it and healing. And it's been very helpful, because I get 9 of them a day from homies, and I don't know where they find these things, but they're hilarious. And it's their way, you don't want to say it's a gallows humor, but it's a way of somehow keeping us, keep it light, because that's the freedom I think that we have. You're supposed to live the risen life right now and in this present moment. And all we have is the present moment. So if we're being invited at the moment to delight in each other, no matter what, and to somehow stay anchored in our duty to delight and to breathe in the spirit that delights in our being, and then to breathe that out into the world. And so, but if we stay in this grim place, I just don't think that's where love wants us to be, because love is the opposite of fear. And that's how we need to be anchored, I think.